Hello, this is Tom Chambers for PokerSavvy.com. This is the first in a series of videos I'm going to make going through the steps on PokerStars. For those who don't know, steps are kind of a unique form of satellite where it's a multi-step system where you can buy in at any level, and every level has sort of some number of players at the end. It's a sit-and-go tournament. Sorry, single-table sit-and-go tournament. Every player or every tournament has some number of players who move on to the next step. I think it's the top two in all but the final, all but step 6. So steps 1 through 5. The top two move on. Some number anywhere between 1 and 3, depending on what the buy-ins are, stays at the same step and gets a ticket to play it again. And some number get knocked down. Some people get nothing. And so it's an interesting structure in that you never have a single winner. So there's always sort of the standard satellite considerations that accumulating chips is not worth as much because you don't need to win all the chips in order to win. You need to finish in the top 2. And so we're going to talk about some of the adjustments that are made along those lines. Probably talk as we progress through the limits about the quality of play and how it changes as you go from step 1 through step 6. And also talk about just sort of some of the basic endgame strategy that goes into tournaments like this. I may do a PowerPoint presentation at some point. Looks like I just got bluffed on the upper left or lower left. Probably do one or at least do some kind of in-depth math in a thread or more likely in a PowerPoint video related to this stuff, but that won't come for a little while. I'm just going to do some playing videos going through four-tabling each of the steps. Probably get videos sort of 1 through 4 out in the relatively near future, and then sort of save steps 5 and 6 for when it's closer to the W coup and the game selection is a little bit better. Anyway, there are two basic things that I want to say about step 1s are, number 1, to notice the payout structure, the particular payout structure for this one, which is that 2 people get to move on to step 2. One person gets a step 1 seat, and so gets their money back essentially, and 4th place gets very little cash. $1.50, even relative to the buy-in, that's not very much. It's only 20% of the buy-in, so that's mostly a non-factor, and it just is there because they need to put out the whole prize pool, and the way that the buy-ins works out, they need to pay $1.50 to 4th. As a result, there's sort of a high value placed on getting to the top 2. There's a bit of a value on making it to the final 3, and the end game strategy is basically going to revolve around when you're sort of 3 through 5 handed, trying to manage your stack size, that you have enough chips to make it likely that you make it to the final 2, without needing to take excessive amounts of risk in order to chip up to having a large stack. And when you have a very large stack, 4 and 5 handed, you're going to play extremely tight. Come close to folding into the money, as it were, because putting a lot of chips at risk when you have 6,000 or 7,000 chips in one of these tournaments is usually a very big mistake.